I'm trying something a little different today. I'm recording from my yard. I live in a neighborhood, though, so there's going to be normal neighborhood sounds. Kids next door that play. They're not out now, though. Dogs barking sometimes. Anyway, you know what? I wanted to talk. Sometimes I want to talk about other things. You know, in this case, yeah, like the title says, UFOs, would they be, or aliens, would they be friendly, hostile, or friendly? What do you think? I think that people like me think they would be friendly, but much of the world, especially like in Abrahamic religious community, at least in Christianity in the U.S., I think there would just be hostility. They would want to kill them. They would think they're evil, and yeah, we got stuff shows up now, stuff out of the ocean. Military planes go try to chase it. They can't figure it out. If something's out there, it's got the technology. There's a sign at the edge of the solar system someplace that says, "Warning, humans ahead." Yeah, we're evolving animals. Okay, let's think about this for a second. What I have just reasoned it through in my mind, and this is what I think. First of all, let's pretend like we are aliens and we're looking at Earth, and we're not Earthlings. We're from somewhere else, but we're looking at Earth and examining it. And what we would see is that the whole globe is full of different peoples with different religions, and they're very hostile. They kill each other. It's really, we would look and go, they're very in an animal stage. They're really in an animal stage of their development. And they might not, because of the size of the planet and the speed that they're growing and everything, they might not even make it into, we're not really spacefaring. We go up into space, but we're so close. We don't go very far. We're never going to go to Mars. There's no reason to go to Mars. It would be a one-way trip. There's no political reason to get there. The reason we went to the moon to begin with was to beat the Soviets. It was the Cold War. That's why we went. It was pride. We didn't need to go, but we went there just to go. And then as soon as we made it, we canceled the program. As soon as the Soviets said they're not going, we canceled all that whole program, everything. Yeah. So that was just like political. That wasn't science. It was science, but it was politically motivated. Anyway, you look at all that stuff, and I think in order for people to... the distance is just incredible when you think about it. If the Earth is this big, and the moon is the size of my fist, the moon would be about 30 feet away. Yeah, it takes us 3 days to get there. Mars would be a mile away. A mile. And it's going around and around. We're not going to go there. It takes months. You got to hit it right. Yeah. And you can't just go after it. You got to wait. You have to go out and interrupt its orbit. Okay, we're slow. We're not, the idea of traveling around the universe just doesn't seem very realistic. In order for that to happen, the society would have to be beyond their evolutionary tribal nature. Evolution is still going to be happening, but they'd have to be beyond their tribal nature. There'd have to be more of a cooperative. So, I think if they were able to come here and visit, they would be friendly. They would not be hostile. If they were hostile like we are, we're going to wipe ourselves off this planet before we do anything like that. We're not going to make it out. We're just living for the moment. Yeah, here, now, my, me, my, mine. That's what animals do when they evolve. Everyone thinks they're the best, and we're all self-motivated. That's how life works. And if we can't somehow balance out the brain types that we have in a different way. I mean, right now in the U.S., I've seen just this incredible stand against science. I've talked to some people, or exchanged some comments, with a couple people on a Neil deGrasse Tyson over on Star Talk, things like that. It's more and more theist Christians are coming there. There's, the ones that are, what are they doing? They just come there and say, what a bunch of shit, you guys don't. And you're like, wow, I don't know what the hell Christianity you think it is. But when you look at it, and anybody that's a Christian, don't talk to me about that. I know what it is. And I know that your brand is different, and they're not the right kind of Christian, and that you're never going to do anything about it, and we're all going to suffer anyway. So just stay out of the conversation if you think that there's good Christians and bad Christians. Jesus Christ is a monomyth, idol worshipped. He's a monomyth hero. Do you know the monomyth? Do you know that the steps are calling? Denial of the call, supernatural aid, 3 right up front. You go to Exodus right off the bat, and we've got Moses who is called on Mount Horeb, but tells God, no, I don't want to go. So you got the calling and the denial of the call, and then he gets his staff, supernatural aid. It goes on. It's a monomyth. It follows the same pattern as Greek, well, prior to that, Mesopotamian and Sumerian works. Anyway, well, I just want to say that. I think if aliens did come here, they would be friendly, but we would not be. The Earth would not be. Even though there's people on Earth that would say, hey, leave them alone, there's too much fear. Earthlings are, well, fear's a part of evolution too. If you didn't fear death, you would not stay alive very long. Fear is natural to live. It seems like we could live with our fear, though, managing it in a different way instead of the tribal supernatural. We're growing too big, so what happens? I have to somehow convince myself that I am better than you, so I'm God's chosen, which justifies my killing of you. Yeah, we're in bad shape here. No, if aliens came here, they wouldn't be like us. They wouldn't have survived to get off their own planet. They'd have killed themselves, just like we're doing. You have to do something different. Anyway, all right, well, that's it. I just have thoughts sometimes, and I don't have anybody to talk to, so I thought I'd just do this. Maybe he's making random videos. I'm talking to AI. See you in the next video.